How do banks lend money? At the Eastwest Bank branch, the client must completely fill up the form of the desired loan application. The fees to be paid is prior to loan release or booking are appraisal fee, bank charges. The loan application will be processed within 5 working days from time of receipt. All required documents, all approved in branch, will be sent to the head office. At the Credit Analysis Department, they will correctly assess the credit worthiness, the financial capacity by 5 Cs. Once approved, it will be issued. The loan proceeds will be released through manager's check. The borrowers should personally pick up the check and sign the pertinent loan documents. The payment will be post-dated checks and auto-debit arrangement.
The appraisal report provides the accurate and adequately supported opinion of the market value. Market value presumes the transfer of property, the right of ownership as of a certain date. The certification certifies that the statements in the report are true and correct. The reported analysis opinions of the conclusions were developed, and this report has been prepared in conformity with the requirements of the Code of Professional Ethics and Standards as professional appraisal practices, undersigned by those Certified General Real Property Appraiser. The property data tells about the subject of the property or the general description of the property, description of improvements by the main structure from the year built, roof type, floor ceiling and covering, electrical plumbing, and the foundation, and it shows the whole vicinity, the hectares, the square feet, and lastly the total lot assessed value, building value, amount for which a property should exchange on a willing.
Here are the documents of loan application form at Eastwest Bank. So we're gonna predict the document. So here, the personal information represents the borrower's characteristics, determines if she or he is able to grant a loan. And one who possesses a good character will always be able to meet his obligation by the personal information. The client positive cash flow will make sufficient profit to repay. So in here, work and finances, it represents the capital or the cash. The client is expected to have a scope of business transactions that produce the cash flow sufficient to fulfill all commitments. So it represents the business name, business address, to show if she or he is able or sufficient to fulfill the commitments. Next one is the collateral. The collateral is the suitable instruments at the debtor's disposal which may be caused towards the debt repayment if the payment is impossible to make in regular manner.
35% of the total credit score is based on a borrower's payment history, making the repayment of the past debt the most important factor in calculating the credit scores. One of the best ways for borrowers to improve their credit score as a whole is by making consistent, timely payments. 30% of the total credit score is based on a borrower's credit utilization. That is the percentage of available credit that has been borrowed. 15% of the total credit score is based on the length of time each account has been open and the length of time since the account's most recent action. Each comprise 10% of the total credit score. Even those new to credit should avoid opening too many credit lines, such as behavior could suggest they are in financial trouble. Historical data indicates that the borrowers with a good mix of revolving credit and installment loans generally represent less risk for lenders. The personal income also has an impact towards credit limit. Since your credit limit essentially tells you how much can charge to you, it's important for your lender to know you have the income to cover it. The financial analysis of the ABS-CBN from audited financial statements of the year 2014-2013. Such industry highlights are their global services, news entered in the highly competitive industry. The company highlights are its own different media, music, film production, and corporate social responsibilities. I use different financial analysis tools, ratio analysis to assess ABS-CBN's financial condition and performances, and these are the values and overall assessment I came up with. The following are the different computations I used and interpretations from the year 2014-2013. The financial indicators are all liquid, better except asset to equity, debt to equity, and debt to asset. So I therefore conclude that there is more debt than equity, highly leveraged causes high risk, high proportion of debt than equity, and most of assets are financed by debt. And I recommend that to increase the company stockholders' equity, shares in company.
The financial analysis on the audited annual report of the year 2014 and 2013 of the Manila Broadcasting Company. I use the different ratios, financial analysis tools, and these are the values I came up with. And I make an overall assessment to determine the financial condition and operating results of the Manila Broadcasting Company. And these are the computations and the interpretations I made from what I have analyzed. Above all, I made the summary, recommendations, and conclusions. Exchange. Article 1. There are two cardinal principles in the exchange of credit information: confidentiality and accuracy of inquiries and replies. Article 2 is all about inquiry should specifically indicate its purpose and the amount involved. Article 3 states specific questions should be given careful and frank replies. Article 4 is not permissible when soliciting an account to make an inquiry. Article 5, a request for information based on actual or contemplated legislation shall be clearly identified as such. Article 6, all credit correspondence, including form letters, should bear the manual signature of the responsible party. Article 7, the sharing of credit information on a mutual customer should not be more frequent than annual. Article 8, when multiple inquiries are made simultaneously on the same subject, the inquiry should clearly state that information.
The industry highlights the Manila Broadcasting Company is via audio and video streaming with RHTV broadcast expansion, while the ABS-CBN is dominated by Globe and PLDT and highly competitive industry globally. ABS-CBN covers almost all over the fields. Manila Broadcasting Company and ABS-CBN both has improvement through nationwide. Both has cable channels. The company highlights. The Manila Broadcasting Company has radio and movie field-making competitions like National Choral Competition. ABS-CBN focus on corporate social responsibility like Lingkod Kapamilya. I use the cross-sectional analysis or the industry comparative analysis. I compare one firm's financial performance to another industry. The ABS-CBN has the higher profit margin by 10.03%. It means that it is profitable in operations. ABS-CBN also has the current ratio with higher margin by 2.03%. It is liquid and easily to convert a cash. It means the liquidity is better. The average collection period with higher margin is the ABS-CBN. It tells how well the company managing its own assets. The total asset turnover, the ABS-CBN has also the higher margin by 0.09%, a higher sales generated for every peso of assets. The operating profit margin of ABS-CBN has also a higher ratio by 13.80%, while the working capital with higher ratio is the Manila Broadcasting Company. The company has short-term assets to cover its own short-term debt. Return on assets. The MBC has higher margin by 0.04%. It is the efficiency in generating earnings from its assets. The return on equity. The ABS-CBN has the higher margin. It is 0.07%, which the money its shareholders have invested. The EPS of the ABS-CBN has also a higher margin by 0.50%, a higher margin by its own profit allocated. The ABS-CBN has the higher risk because the leverage is high. The debt to equity, debt to assets, and asset to equity of the ABS-CBN is at risk. I use different financial computations using the different financial analysis tools. I compare Manila Broadcasting Company from ABS-CBN by the year 2014, and these are my interpretations. And this is the summary conclusions and recommendations. The summary is that the asset to equity, debt to assets, and debt to equity of the ABS-CBN is at risk because of high leverage. I therefore conclude that the liabilities are so high that the leverage is at risk, while the stockholders' equity is lesser. I recommended that the company should increase the stockholders' equity, the shares in the company. The Manila Broadcasting Company and ABS-CBN differ by the fields they offer. The ABS-CBN is globally known. And I therefore conclude that the Manila Broadcasting Company has limited services to offer than ABS-CBN. I recommended that the Manila Broadcasting Company should enhance the services they offer to become more competitive in such industry. And that's the comparative analysis between ABS-CBN and the Manila Broadcasting Company.